So let's enter the story in Mark chapter 11. I invite you to get your Bibles and to read along, or you can listen to the story. The first part from Mark 11, verses 1 to 6. As they approached Jerusalem and came to Bethphage and Bethany at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two of his disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and just as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there, which no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you doing this?' tell him the Lord needs it, and will send it back here shortly." They went and found a colt outside in the street, tied to a doorway. As they untied it, some people standing there asked, "What are you doing untying the colt?" They answered as Jesus had told them to, and the people let them go. Jesus' journey into Jerusalem starts with telling the disciples and assigning them the task of getting the colt, the donkey. Seems like a very insignificant thing along the way, a small behind-the-scenes sort of detail. And yet, the donkey, that colt who had never been ridden, in sending the disciples, Jesus was fulfilling a part of Old Testament prophecy. An animal that had never been ridden was that which was sacred, to be used only for one purpose. And in the Old Testament, Zechariah told us that the Messiah would come in such a manner. But there's also this other small detail that the disciples don't seem to know about the arrangements with the colt's owner. Whether Jesus told the owner ahead and the owner was ready to release the colt, or whether the owner was just that surrendered to Jesus, that whatever he would ask, the owner would quickly provide. Mark doesn't tell us the behind-the-scenes story. But what it does tell us is that Jesus is quite capable of doing things behind the scenes that his disciples and us know nothing about. In this season of the pandemic, when we are wondering, what is God doing in the midst of this? When sometimes we don't see God working and wonder where he is, this little piece of Palm Sunday is a good reminder that God is always working behind the scenes, bringing about his perfect will. In the scriptures, Paul tells us that we see dimly as through a veil. We can't always see what God is doing. But just as the disciples sometimes were surprised by the arrangements Jesus had done without them, so in this pandemic, we can have trust and faith that while we can't see everything that God is doing, he is still surely at work. So I'm going to invite you to just pause the tape, and as the questions come on the screen, you can answer the questions as a family or in your journal. Where have you seen God working this past week? And the second question is, how has God surprised you?